3, 2.
Hello, everybody. This is Robert Hatfield. It's my second episode back since the first season. We took a couple months off, and I'm here with a very special guest. Her name is Elaine from Campy Lane, and we've been working together a lot lately. Say hello to everybody, Elaine.
Hello, everybody out there in viral land. So anyway, I have to tell you about Robert first. We were supposed to do an interview a couple weeks ago, and then it was just one calamity after another. Then he came to the LA Comedy Awards, where I was nominated for Best Comedy, Campy Lane. So you can watch it on YouTube. And then he came to Campy Lane Live. So now Robert and I are like this. We are buds, and he's going to go everywhere I go. Okay? Got that, Robert?
That sounds great to me.
And I even got you some fans. I have a friend of mine on Facebook who is a fan that became a friend, and she watched your interview with Shelly Dennis from Campy Lane Live and loved it, loved you, loved your energy, thought you were great, great interviewer. So now my fans are your fans. That's how close we are becoming.
That is great. It's been such a crazy ride. We first met at the LA Comedy Awards. Tell us about that. What happened that night?
Well, the LA Comedy Awards were so much fun. I don't know if any of you remember Murray Langston, the unknown comic, but he was given the highest award of the evening. I forgot what it's called. Is it the Producer's Award or something like that? But anyway, he was given that. And then I met a lot of people who were just so nice, who do television, who do internet shows, who do everything. And the best part was and I should have brought it. Darn, I knew I forgot something. The award for the nomination for Best Comedy from the LA Comedy Awards. And we don't know till next year, so I have a whole year to do selfless promotion.
Who was hosting it? It was Max?
Max Worthington, I believe, is the owner or whatever, the executive producer of the awards, and he was basically the host that night.
Yeah, that was a fun night. Oh my gosh, I got to meet and interview so many fun comics. I don't know what to say. It was just a blast. And then, of course, Campy Lane. You got to tell us about the magic that happened the other night there at Campy Lane Live.
Okay, for anyone who's in California, it's in Canoga Park, and watch the internet, Facebook. You can friend me at Campy Lane, because I can't always friend people. They always block me because they think I'm doing something wrong. And so anyway, I don't know what I'm doing wrong other than friending everybody. I mean, shouldn't everybody be my friend? Isn't that what social networking is? So anyway, it's in Canoga Park, and we're having comics, and we have singers. So if any of you want to be a part of it, and you're in California, Southern California, in Canoga Park, or if you're in the area at that time, just friend me on Facebook, and I'll put a shout out. Or if you're on LA Casting, there will be a submission. We're just not totally secure, but we're looking to have it every fourth Tuesday night in Canoga Park for 3 months. We've already had our first one, which was so much fun. Had a great group of talent. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have a semifinals and then a finals. And there'll be some nice rewards. We're working on them now for the awards, because everybody loves an award, right?
Everybody does love an award. I'm still waiting for my first award.
Hey, you might get one.
I might
if you
get
keep
one.
showing up at Campy Lane Live, we'll have an award for you. You'll have perfect attendance award. How's that?
That sounds good for me. I'll take anything at this point. And I got to mention...
A done deal.
Yes.
Done deal.
I went through the same thing you did on Facebook. I was adding people trying to spread the message of Robert Hatfield. And I'm already on my third Facebook account. I've already gotten banned off Facebook twice for getting too many friends.
I know. And then they say, well, how do you know this person? Well, ironically, some of the people they banned me from, I really did know. They were like my close personal friends. And then Facebook does another thing. They'll just randomly kick people off. They randomly select the pictures that are going to be shown, and I tried desperately. I don't know what I'm doing. So again, if you are out there and you are a Facebook aficionado. Please friend me. Campy Lane. And I don't know what they're doing. I really don't. It's these Harvard dropouts. I don't know. Can't trust any of them. Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg. It's all these Harvard dropouts.
And before Facebook, were you ever on MySpace?
No, couldn't get on MySpace. Couldn't figure that one out at all. I mean, everyone kept saying, "Oh, you've got to be on MySpace. You've got to be on MySpace." Then I tried doing Twitter, but that was like way too confusing. And my phone only sometimes gets calls. Sometimes it just goes right to voicemail. It will automatically hang up on people. And so Twitter was not really that good for me. So I kind of am sticking to Facebook and just trying to play within their boundaries.
Elaine, I gotta ask you something. The people out there, they want to know, like, how did you get into the entertainment business, like in acting? Did you do theater when you were younger?
Well, actually, I started off as a professional ice skater, and then I did commercials. I lived in Hollywood. I'm from LA, born and raised here, so I'm a real California girl, which I'll add another story in a minute. But anyway, started off really as a professional ice skater and entertainer, and just love entertainment. And then I love television, and I love making people laugh, and or hoping that they're laughing, and I love to laugh. So there's so much bad news out there that if you can get a chuckle, that's enough. I'll take it. A chuckle.
I'll take it too. Everybody needs a laugh to get through the day.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do without living each day with a smile.
You know what? That's so true. If they always say that laughter is the best medicine, and I did have someone who was on Facebook who is one of my friends, but who has now really truly become a friend, and I won't mention her name, but I will share her story with you. And she told me that she had cancer and that she was looking at all my Campy Lane videos, and they brought her laughter, and that she's so much healthier now just from laughing so much. Not saying my videos cured her, but at least they provided some laughter for her to feel better. And thank God right now she's diagnosed, well, not really, they don't call it cancer-free anymore. They undiscoverable or undetectable or something like that. So laugh. Otherwise you'll be crying, and who wants to do that?
Yeah, we gotta just laugh sometimes and forget about the bad things. Oh, I got a quick comment from somebody in the chat room.
Okay, what do they have to say?
We have STFU Donnie out there. He wants to know, have you done any Broadway or Disney on Ice?
Well, Disney on Ice, I did do, not the touring company, but I did do a show called Beauty and the Beast, which was on television with the great producer director Steve Binder, and it was just awesome. It was so much fun. So that was a great experience.
Oh wow. I forgot to give a chat room shout out to the people that are watching.
Hi everyone who's watching.
Hello. We have Lucky Girl, we have Knight, we have STFU Donnie, we have Storm Chaser Nerd, and we have a bunch of random Ustreamers tuning in. Okay. Thanks for watching, guys, and make sure to post this on your wall, on Twitter, and spread this episode to your friend, guys, because we want to get the message out there.
Especially to Facebook. Let's really piss them all off.
Oh, and I gotta ask, like, let's dig deep into Campy Lane, the show, the internet show. What is the idea behind that and your character?
Well, the main character, Campy Lane, is kind of, sometimes I feel it's like life entertaining art, or art entertaining, imitating life, or whatever comes. But a lot of it is, of course, based on real experiences and things that happen, and being an actor in this town and trying to get on interviews that they say, no, you can't go on, or hearing about something and just crashing. And things used to be a lot easier. And I remember even as a skater, you'd hear about an audition or something, and you'll call up your friends and go, "Are you going on the audition?" And they'd say, "Oh, well, I don't know anything about it." And I go, "Oh, come on, I'll pick you up in 10 minutes. We'll go," And then usually they'd get the job and I wouldn't. But, I guess it was good karma. So at least they worked, and eventually I worked. So that was all good. And at least you're going on interviews with your friends and you get to see everybody. And I think going on a skating audition is probably the hardest thing because everybody is usually there and they all know who skates and who's good and who's not good and everything. And it's very funny though about skating auditions because they oftentimes don't really want the best skater. They want someone who is good enough and who will blend in. So I don't know, I guess it's maybe the same in acting, but you really notice it in skating when people come up to you and say, "Oh my God, you're so good. I can't believe you didn't get it." And I go, "Yeah, what was that all about? I skated really well." And then they kind of tell you, "Well, we need people that are kind of more all the same style or type or whatever." So it's a good experience to be a skater. And the lessons you learn from skating are amazing too, because first of all, it's a very difficult sport. It's a very unforgiving sport, and it's very demanding. I mean, it demands most of your time, total commitment, and a lot of practice. A lot of practice. So what you have to do is you just have to be totally 100% dedicated. And I will say, on a serious note, it did train me as far as time management, and it trained me to get good grades in school because I had to get good grades in school or my parents wouldn't let me skate. And it also trained me how to prepare for a test because it would be the same way that I was preparing for a show, learning a new number or something like that. So I knew how to prepare. And so that's the one great thing, not just about ice skating, but I think all sports. But skating, it's basically you and the ice. So as much as you're going to put into it is as much as you're going to get out, which is just like life.
And what age did you start getting into skating? Like, how did it click to you?
Well, actually what happened was, again, I think that's how Campy Lane came about. I had an older sister who was very badly knock-kneed, and the doctor said, "Well, try ice skating." I don't know what they knew. But anyway, so my parents would take her, and I was just a little one and screamed and cried and said, "I want to skate, I want to skate." And so finally they got tired of listening to me scream and cry, so they put me on the ice, kind of like, like Campy Lane is. I just show up places. So, and then they couldn't get me off the ice. So anyway, that was basically how it started, just like Campy Lane.
That is great. We have another question from the chat room.
Oh, good. Hopefully I'll have an answer.
Someone wants to know, have you met any famous skaters such as Brian Bortano?
Brian Boitano. As a matter of fact, I met him at a very, very unpleasant place. It was there was an incredible skater, Christopher Bowman, who passed away, and I met Brian at Christopher's memorial. Really nice guy. Really nice guy. And I do work out still with a former Olympic and world champion, Tim Wood, who is, to this day, one of the most incredible skaters I've ever seen. And I think if he were to really skate a lot in practice, he could blow almost anybody away. He still has the power. He can still jump, maybe not all the triples or a quad, but he can still jump, power, incredible edges. He also holds the record for the highest points ever in figures when they used to do figures in figure skating.
Oh my gosh. We're getting more things. The chat room's blowing up.
Uh-oh.
We have another question.
Okay. Bring it on.
What is your favorite episode of Campy Lane?
The audition. The one that was nominated for Best Comedy. I love that episode because I love to sing and can't, and knew a lot of people in the music industry. As a matter of fact, I've got a great story about that. I met Fuller Gordy, Barry Gordy's brother, and I said that, I was such a great singer, and he laughed and he goes, "Okay, well, come on up to Motown." And this is when Motown had already moved to LA, of course. So I went up there and had a great outfit because part of it is the look, of course. And so I went in and I know only two songs, Amazing Grace and Mercedes Benz. And so I started singing and he recorded. So I can honestly say I was recorded at Motown Records. And afterwards he said, "Thank you so much. If I'm ever depressed, I will pull this tape out and laugh." So there you have it. So I've always wanted to sing, and people always go, "Please don't."
Wow, you have a lot of guts, Elaine. I cannot sing at all, so I only like if my friends forced me to do karaoke sometime.
Oh, no, oh, wait, I've got a great karaoke story. One New Year's Eve, everybody, thank God they were all drunk and I don't drink, but so they didn't really know if I was really bad or drunk or whatever, but they knew that I wasn't drinking, so they just kept drinking more, hoping that I would sound better. So I got the karaoke mic and I would not give it up the whole night, and it was just horrible. I mean, even with karaoke, my phrasing was totally off, everything, but that didn't stop me. And so afterwards, at the end of the evening, when we were all going home, this woman came up to me and said, "Thank you so much." And I said, "For what?" I mean, she had to be absolutely polluted if she thought I could really sing. And so she said, "I've never seen my son laugh as much as he did tonight." So there you have it.
Oh my gosh, I would love to see that, Elaine.
Oh, I wish I had that, on tape, but I don't,
What is your favorite song for karaoke?
Well, it doesn't matter. I don't know any of them. I could sing anything badly. Like I said, the only two songs I know are Amazing Grace and Mercedes Benz.
That is great. Oh my gosh, we got a comment from Lucky Girl in the chat room. She says, "Have you ever met or skated with Scott Hamilton?"
Yes, I did. As a matter of fact, he was going back to the Disney show. He was on the Disney show Beauty and the Beast. He also was on Snowden that I did with him as well.
Oh wow, that's awesome. I'm also a Scott Hamilton fan.
He was a great skater.
And I want to know about how did the idea of Campy Lane come into place? Like, you're gathering all kinds of comedians and singer-songwriters out there. Like,
well, that's the Campy Lane Live
one. Campy Lane Live?
Right, yeah, that one. Well, actually, how that came about was, I'm not sure how it came about, no. Why it came about, no. Actually, I was doing it kind of for selfish reasons because I was also looking for people to possibly be on the Campy Lane webisodes. And so I know that stand-up is very different from improv sketch comedy, which is what Campy Lane is. It's all improv, nothing's written out except for the outline of the story of where we would like the story to go. So anyway, the other thing was, I know that in Hollywood there are a lot of cliques, and there's the improv, there's the Laugh Factory, there's, which other one am I missing? Improv, Comedy Store. And so anyway, I know that it's the same kind of circle. And what I really, really want to do is give as many people a chance out there that want to perform, because I know I love performing, and I feel that singing and stand-up are two areas that sometimes get really shut down, and so I really, really want to give people a format to be able to perform. And so it's basically to give back.
That is awesome. And I had a great time there. And
you're coming next month, too.
I'll be there next month, and I can't wait to interview some more comedians.
I loved your interview with Shelley, by the way. It was on my Facebook page. So if you friend me, you could go to that page and find it. Shelley Dennison, beautiful girl, very tall. She was a model in Europe.
Oh my God, we got a funny random question from a random Ustreamer.
Okay.
They want to know: have you ever had a paranormal experience in your life? Maybe a ghost encounter.
You know what? I think ghosts absolutely live in my apartment, because I'll go look for things and they are not there, and I know the ghost is wearing it. I just know it. And then I go, "Come on, I really need it. Could you bring it back, please?" And then in about a day or two, when things calm down, the ghost returns my clothes, jewelry, shoes, anything.
Oh.
Isn't it amazing we're the same size?
Oh my gosh! Wow, that is amazing. I don't know what to say, but you know what? I've had similar things here where we film. Like on episode 2 of the Robert Hatfield Show, I interviewed a ghost hunter lady that was part of a gay and lesbian ghost hunting team in Antelope Valley, California, and she came here with all these creepy ghost stories. And ever since she's left, I think maybe a couple have just stayed here.
They didn't want to go home with
They
her,
didn't want to go home.
They liked you better. Mom always liked you better.
Yeah, they liked me better.
They liked you better, so they stayed. Wait, do they at least help with the rent?
No, they don't help with the rent.
See, they just want a free ride. That's the problem. They want a free ride. No free rides, no free lunches.
Oh, okay. We got another question.
Okay.
If there's one actor or actress you would like to work with in the future, who would that be?
Wow, that's an excellent question. At one time, I always wanted to work with Liz Taylor, but I don't think she's working too much, unfortunately, because I just love Liz. And to tell you a little story about that, which is a very funny story, which goes into another story, is I got to meet Liza Minnelli once. And Liza, I adore. I think she's so talented. And I skated to Maybe This Time, and I think it was at Madison Square Garden. And so anyway, I went over to her and introduced myself and said, I skated to one of your songs that I just love. And she goes, don't tell me, let me see if I can guess. So we were talking for a while, and then it came out about the quote of Liz Taylor, who's also a Pisces. And I said, yes, I just love Liz. Curse the day I was born a Pisces woman, but when I die, I will know that I had lived. Got through with that, and she looks at me and she goes, I know what song you skated to. She said, Maybe This Time. And I went, yes! She goes, you're a Pisces. And I went, yes! And she goes, honey, forget about a relationship. You're never going to get it right. So after that, I just said, oh, okay. So I'll never worry about a relationship, but I do want to get my career right. So that's all that mattered.
Do you have a worst date story or something you could tell us?
A worst date story. Let me see. I think it's my whole dating career. I wouldn't want to say one was worse than the other because it was all pretty bad. I'd hate to give one person credit over the other,
It was all just a train wreck or something.
That's so true. It was a train wreck.
Oh my gosh.
I think I should have been at the airport. Maybe I would have had better luck.
Have you ever experienced online dating before?
Online dating, where you just have a date every night with the same person.
Yeah.
I try to do that every night on Facebook. And then they all disappear. I don't know. I don't get it. Or our timing is off. I don't know. Time zones, whatever. The internet goes down, I don't know. Maybe Liza Minnelli's right,
Oh my gosh, Lucky Girl wants to know, have you had any embarrassing moments on the ice before?
Probably stepping on the ice could be very embarrassing. No, I think, thank God, my skating career has been pretty okay. Pretty okay, I think. I don't think it's been... Oh, wait. Yes, I do have a great story. It wasn't terribly embarrassing, but it was fun. Are you familiar with the comic Rip Taylor?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I know Rip Taylor.
Anyway, we were doing a show in Palm Springs, and it was really funny because it was on plastic ice. And so we got down there, and I was used to doing a lot of shows on the plastic ice, which is, I tell everyone, sort of like skating on AstroTurf. And I don't even think they use AstroTurf anymore in football. But anyway, it was kind of that same odd experience. So anyway, we were skating, and the ceilings were really low, and we had these really high hats, and my hat hit one of the beams. And so anyway, it was just hysterical, and Rip Taylor thought I was the comedic relief in that number. And it was kind of funny. Oh yeah, wait, there were some very funny moments. It was when they always put me in a production number, and I could never do production numbers because I started off as a soloist, so I never really kind of just meshed in. And I mean, sometimes they'd be going left and I'd be going right, or vice versa, or whatever. And one time there was a production number, and then it was going to be my solo, and then kind of, or a trio, and then into my solo. And I don't know, I just couldn't get that number, and I didn't really care. And I was always worried about making it back on time for my solo from that costume change. And one night, the guy that I was always following, and he knew every production number, he was just wonderful at it. And I was following him, and all of a sudden he got off the ice. And so I just followed him off the ice. And I got back there, changed, and was ready for my solo on time for the first time. And I go, what happened later? And I go, what do you mean what happened? And they go, well, you just left when Rocky, that was the skater, left. And I went, I thought we were all supposed to get off the ice. What did I know? I mean, I couldn't dare tell them I didn't really know the number, so I couldn't finish it. He left, I left.
Oh my gosh, that was such a close call.
Oh, but it was okay because, see, in my solo, it didn't matter because when you're doing a solo, nobody really knows the number except maybe the choreographer. But if you change it, it's okay. So I was always used to doing that. I figured, you know, as long as I get my solo, that's all that matters. I was just horrible. And one time, here's another funny story about that. We were in rehearsal for a show that we were doing, I think, in 2 days or something. And so a friend of mine said, oh, I really want to come to the rehearsal. And I went, oh, okay, whatever. So afterwards we went out, and I said, well, how did you like the show? And he goes, I can't believe it's going up in 2 days. And I said, well, why? I mean, I think it looks great. And he goes, well, I don't know. And I go, okay, well, forget about the production numbers. What did you think of my solo? He said, Elaine, every time you were out there, you were doing a solo. So they kind of learned afterwards to never put me in production numbers because, I don't know, I guess I was just always skating to my own beat.
That is so funny. What is the most exotic place you've ever traveled to?
Oh, I'm not a good traveler. But I did travel to East Germany when there was an East Germany. And actually through skating, it was really fun because they did give me permission to skate in some of their rinks. Because at the time, if you weren't an East German, you couldn't skate. You had to get permission. And so I did have the permission, and they did clear me and had me sign their guest book. So that was kind of fun. But I couldn't go to any of their training facilities. Those were top secret. So that was probably the most exciting. I skated on a cruise ship going through Glacier Bay on Alaska, and
on the actual ship?
Yep.
Oh wow.
And we were on plastic. Now they have all these cruise ships with ice, but we were on plastic. So it was definitely interesting to see the backdrops of Glacier Bay, snow, and we're on plastic.
Here's a question that I asked any actor or actress that I have on my show. What is that one dream character that you would want to play one day? Like a lead role, like a character that isn't you.
Actually, Campy Lane.
Campy Lane? Okay.
It's actually my favorite character. I love that character, and anything that's just kind of out there and ditzy and a person who ends up at the wrong place at the wrong time, which is usually what I do. But I love that character. I really, really, it's like, you really, really like me. I really love that character.
Well, I hope to see a Campy Lane movie one day in theaters.
Wouldn't that be
I would
fun?
love that.
Maybe we should do a movie. That would be great.
That would be great. Oh, wow. We got 2 minutes left. Elaine, would you like to tell us where we could find your stuff? Any last words for the people watching out there on Ustream?
Well, first of all, I want to thank them for watching. That's great. I'm so glad you guys are here with me. And hope I answered all of your questions. Definitely go to YouTube, Camp Elaine, and friend me on Facebook Camp Elaine. And basically, that's about it right now where they can see me. And look for, if you're in the Los Angeles area, Southern California, look for Campy Lane Live and come out to the show. It's a great show. I mean, we always have really good comics and singers, and it's a great night of fun, entertainment, as I call it, song, laughter, and mixing. And people became friends that night, and it was really wonderful. But definitely watch the audition because that's my all-time favorite one.
Well, thank you so much for coming, Elaine.
Well, thank you for having me, and I'm going to come back all the time.
You have to
You
come
won't
back
get rid
all the
of me.
time. Every time, if you have any news for us, definitely come by and share it with everybody.
Oh, absolutely. And thank you guys so much, because without you, we wouldn't be anywhere. We need you to, kind of give us credibility. Otherwise we could be doing it at home by ourselves and hoping that somebody's out there laughing. But at least when they're watching and they're laughing, or they're friending you, or they're hitting up your videos, and you're there. So you guys are awesome too. Give yourselves a hand. Yay!
Well, we got a last comment from a Lucky Girl. She said this was a lot of fun. Thank you, Lucky Girl.
Yeah, that was fun. Where do you live, Lucky Girl?
Yeah, where do you live? Oh, we're getting some people clapping in the chat room.
Yay!
With their little picture things. El Paso, Texas.
Oh, okay. Well, if you ever come to LA, you'll have to come to a Campy Lane Live. Do you do comedy or sing? Anyone out there singing, doing comedy?
Hey. She says she wants to.
Well, come on down.
Well, guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to give one last chat room shout out. We got our moderator, Storm Chaser Nerd. We got Lucky Girl. We got Knight. We got STFU Donnie. And we got a bunch of random Ustreamers watching out there. Well, thanks, guys. Tune in every Thursday. And be sure to add Campy Lane on YouTube. Add her as a friend. All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
See ya.